So things are starting to get really weird, and we need to talk about it. I am sure you have heard over the past decade about clones. You might have heard them as conspiracy theories, as a whispers, as just fun little, oh, what happened to this person? I heard they were cloned. I mean, they look really weird. And with all the weird Uncanny Valley faces that we've been seeing, and with the celebrities doing these tweakments, what they call it. You've seen the fat pads right above your eyes. You remove those so it makes your eyes look whiter. It kind of feminizes your face a little bit. You can see it, and it's not subtle because it doesn't take much to really mess it up. I think people that allegedly, reportedly, that maybe just in my opinion, but I've also heard other people talk about it that have had it, would be people like Bradley Cooper, and I think they call him Barry Manilow now. Baby Selena Gomez had something that affected the shape of her eyes. Someone like Taylor Swift, she might have had it. Also, they say that certain types of Botox can help her whiten her eyes because experts say that they alleged report that they think that there's this eye issue where your eye muscles don't work correctly and they lose their strength over time, and they felt like she had that, and so she had maybe the upper blepharoplasty. I just spit. Hey Siri, what's it called when you get rid of the fat on your upper eyelid?
The best and most common procedure for fat removal,
Blepharoplasty. So the blepharoplasty. But for men, having more fat up here, the hooded eye look actually is very attractive for men in general. I mean, traditionally, I guess. But that upper, I think that is one of the things. Ariana Grande may have had something like that done as well. Many females have had it done, and a few of them that have done it very well, and you can see it. It's done very well. It's better done when you're older because that's like when the things start sagging a little more, and it's very hard to take just the tiniest amount. It's better not to do it unless you have a very big issue. So again, you have the Bradley Cooper look. So he comes in, he's Bradley Cooper, but like a little weird and then a little pillowy because of the fillers. This is just an example of someone, especially in the males, who are starting to make these weird subtle tweakment changes, but the subtleness is not subtle when you change something like the fat pads in your eyes or your buccal fat. And you suck that out, that cannot be replaced. At least fillers, there is some removal that can happen. It's never completely going to make your face and everything, the shape of it, look the same again. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is obviously you've all seen Jim Carrey, and I know that the conspiracies that are coming along are that he's like a clone, and that's a fun conspiracy. We do have scientists who have said that the idea of cloning an adult celebrity, we're not there yet. If you ever watched the movie, it's with Scarlett Johansson and who is it? The guy from Moulin Rouge and tons more. And I used to have a big crush on him for some reason. Ewan McGregor. So I think it's called The Island, and it kind of goes through this whole concept of adults being cloned and raised. And then there's one that is, oh, I forget what it's called. It actually wasn't too horrible. Basically, these girls were raised and they couldn't go outside and they had to like wash their skin and face. They lived in this blockade, like just a concrete building. They couldn't do anything, but it was because they needed their skin and their body and everything to be the optimal health, so that if something happened to the client, they could just replace their body, they could get organs, they could do whatever they needed. And so they would create these clones. But scientists in reality, not in the movie world, which I think the movie world does a lot of times know what's going on. They know what's going on behind the scenes. I honestly think that. And they're a little ahead of the game on a few things. So they say some stuff that I think is actually happening, but we're just like, oh, that's a lot of years in the future. But cloning is said to have to start when you're a baby. Like, you can't clone an adult into an adult. Now, that's just what they say. Who knows how far they've gotten. They have not announced it officially, but many scientists are saying that they do have that ability, and it is much farther along than anyone would have you believe. That's when you have to say, okay, AI bodies. And then I think maybe our technology, seeing how the public use of AI, the open AI, which is not the really good AI, but it's like what's available to us. But seeing how poor that is, I'm not sure we're at the level, and seeing the CGI crap, just how bad deepfakes are comparatively. I just don't know in real life, like outside of the screens that we're looking at, someone could actually be a robot. I don't know, because you have the Joe Biden concepts, and of course then we're looking at past footage. Oh, look how tall he is. Well, we have AI, so we could actually have altered that footage at that exact time. When he walked out, was he excessively like with these crazy legs and super tall? Like, I don't know. But again, we're looking at AI post-production, so that's hard to say. But this clone concept is crazy. And Jim Carrey is the newest one, and he is the closest one to me being like, I get it. I know the Oscars were last night. I am recording this just for the record. I have about 20 videos that I have recorded today. I'm editing them up, and then I will post them onto my membership, so you can go and see them all. As soon as they're edited and posted, they'll be posted on the membership. I suggest it because it really does help me out. But you don't have to become a member. I'm scheduling them to post on Tuesdays for the next 20 weeks, okay? So today is the day after the Oscars. I didn't notice Jim Carrey last night. It was at a French awards thing like in the last 2 weeks, and the internet shut down over this. They were completely freaking out over Jim Carrey's new face. The thing about it is that when you look at it, you can see, yeah, it does look like his eyes are different colors. It does look like he looks so different but like him, but then there's a few features that you're like, I don't know how they could find someone exactly with that feature, especially some of where his dimples, where his natural, like when he smiles and those sort of things. And because his face looks so kind of poofy, it could have been a mask. So that's where I'm coming in with this. We need to talk about it. It's getting weird. Jim Carrey, he was like, I move my face, you see my expressions. He didn't seem vain, and he waited until how old? Until he finally did the plastic surgery stuff. So that makes you just wonder what happened that would have made him make that decision. It's sad that he would make a decision that I believe was just some plastic surgery, some fresheners, or what he was trying to freshen up, and that it actually turned into everyone talking about it on the internet. But I guess maybe they're used to that. I'm wondering, Jim Carrey's eye color does look very different, but those are very bright lights. When your eyes, like my eyes are actually hazel, and they're green hazel. I don't think you can see. This is a horrible lighting. I look horrible here. I don't want to go so close. Don't go so close. But you can see, and you can look at some of my videos. My eyes look green in my videos. Sometimes they look a little bluish, and then a lot of times they look like a light brownish, like a khaki is kind of what people call them, because of the lighting. So I think that would be just lighting. But here's the thing that I have really thought about for a long time, and this Jim Carrey thing brought it up. So there's a lot of controversy around Britney Spears. I am happy. Okay, that's a hard thing to say. I'm happy to see her in public. I don't want her to be driving while intoxicated. I don't want her to be doing bad things in public. I have no desire. I would rather her be completely a recluse, doing bad things by herself and not having people judge her and make fun of her, and also her being arrested and all of the stuff that comes with it, okay? And endangering other people. I mean, just all of the stuff, right? But there was a while where she had not been in public for such a long time that you questioned if every video you saw was just AI and that she was not alive. I did question whether she was alive. I honestly did. I would say Britney is just struggling. And she's been struggling her whole life. If you were asking me, make a judgment call. But when you think about it, this whole concept, some people are like, oh, her sister is there, and then doing the AI face. And I know that they have this stuff where you could be a different face. So I know that they have that in existence. They have apps that do that. And I've watched a lot of stuff about the possibility of Britney Spears' sister actually pretending to be Britney, because Britney was such a great dancer, because all of this stuff that now is not reflecting in the videos that we're seeing posted, these really cries for help on Instagram. At the same time, you wonder if someone is taking drugs nonstop, possibly. If someone is having mental issues, possibly, allegedly, reportedly. If someone is under any influence in that way over decades, might they not be the best dancer? And if someone else is writing your choreography, might you not be able to make up your own anymore? Possibly at your height, possibly when you're doing all these different dances, you could flow through them. But when someone is choreographing every move, no one is doing that for these little 1-minute videos. So it's not like her poor dancing or her erratic behavior is proof. But that is probably the closest person that I really believe the conspiracies about, like whether you're cloned or they're pretending to be you. I just think the clone thing has become such a greater issue, more mainstream, because of all this Uncanny Valley stuff, because of all the tweakments that celebrities are doing. I recently rewatched the movie, I think it was Gattaca, because I was trying to compare it to Uglies. I mean, we're not that far off from designer babies. I think we're already doing that in certain circles. It's just a matter of what the public knows versus what the elites know. It makes you wonder where we're going, because if you see like the World Economic Forum, it's full of a lot of evil people. I don't agree with them, but you see them talking, and a lot of things that they say, the leaders of the World Economic Forum, the people who speak, talk about, I mean, really irreverent things against God, talking about the irrelevance of Jesus Christ because of the advancement of technology and health system, and the fact that you can become immortal, so Jesus no longer is relevant. Someone actually said that. I believe it was Klaus Schwab's secondary scientist. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to find it and post it. The point is that people at the WEF, they know a lot. They have a lot of secrets. They know a lot of technology. They're doing a lot of things. I watch a lot of conspiracy shows because I just want to know and have all the ideas. And then you can make your informed decisions. So clones. What do you think about clones? I don't think that these celebrities are cloned. I think if there was a celebrity that would be cloned, it would be someone like, say, Drew Barrymore or Tori Spelling. I don't think they're cloned. I'm just saying someone who was in a very elite family and who was very rich when they were born, so that the parents could start the cloning process immediately. You would have to have basically the clone happen at the same time, so that they're like the exact same age. And then, oh gosh, all the ideas of the farming, the clone farms, like, this is so inhumane, people. Don't clone. We shouldn't do it. Anyway, I don't think Jim Carrey is a clone. I really don't. Do I know for a fact? I want to be like, yeah, kind of, because I don't think it's possible, but I don't know for a fact. Let me know your thoughts. But this stuff is really weird. We need to stop doing tweakments. We need to stop it. Your faces are changing, and it's not for the better. My face is changing as well. It's getting older. I'm getting wrinkles. Some might say that's not for the better. I personally do think it's for the better because I'm alive, and it means I'm alive. It means that my face is moving. It means that I'm smiling, and I'm not doing that to be cheesy. I'm doing that because that is the mindset we really need to have. We need to be excited about it. And I believe that when we can move and these lines, like, these actually make you look younger. People need to stop the Botox. The smoothness is not what makes you look young. I think it's the movement. I feel like maybe the Gen Z, this is a whole different video as well, is actually aging like milk, which you hear about it all the time. What I think it is they're not moving. The things that they're doing to their face are what 40-year-olds are doing to their face. And so it makes them look like 40-year-olds because they have the features of a 40-year-old now, not because they necessarily have aged skin. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's a psychological thing. We're looking at features and things. Who did that? I think maybe it's Lael Hansen who did a whole thing about that. It's actually really interesting about how you look older or younger based on really subtle things all around your face and your features and how you act, and all those put together, and they're cues that our brain does. So it's not even actually a fully visual conscious thing. You don't look at someone and think, oh, there's so many wrinkles, they're so old. In general, that's not a conscious thought. Now, the bigger issue here is the root cause. Why? Men, tell me, if you got this far, tell me why are you guys at, and I'm going to say this in the Hollywood scheme, maybe this is not happening in the world. Why are men feeling like they need to now look younger? Are they getting pushed into this whole narrative about how being old and looking old is scary? It's weird because men used to have it better where they aged better and they looked better with age and women looked worse with age. And now does everyone just sucks with age? That's consumerism. They just want people to buy stuff and they already have women and they can't make women feel worse about ourselves than women have already made us feel. So now we're going to go for the men. So men, welcome. Feel bad about yourselves. This is crazy.
Let's go.